Hey everybody, welcome back to Of a Certain Age. Today we're going to have a lot of fun playing with some Natasha Denona products. I only have 5, I don't have the whole line because their stuff is like crazy overpriced, but I really think I'm in love with it. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did this look, what I used, how it all worked. So if you're interested in this, stay with me because we're going to start right now. What is more exciting than a new eyeshadow palette? Now this one isn't exactly new. It's from Natasha Denona and it's the Lila palette and it has been out for quite a while. I'll show you the colors. It is all new and shiny. I did touch a couple of them because I was swatching it on my arm, but boy, I love a brand new eyeshadow palette where nothing has been touched yet. I just love that so much. What I did so far is I did my brows and I did my eyeshadow base and my concealer because those 3 products are not from Natasha Denona and I really want to focus on what I have from her during this video. None of this is sponsored. I paid for all of my products. I don't get PR from any company, so this is just me buying products that I love and showing them to you. What we're going to do first is I am going to use my Ride or Die Marc Jacobs Rococo eyeliner because I seriously will use this forever no matter what look, no matter what I'm doing, and you have heard me say that before. So I'm going to put this on real quick for you. This eyeliner works so well for me. It just darkens the lash line and it makes any eyeshadow or any eyeliner that I want to put on top of it, it makes it look just a little richer and a little darker. Because, you know, it is fun to use brightly colored eyeliners, but, you know, sometimes it makes you look a little bit crazy, especially we women of a certain age. We can't go too nuts with that kind of stuff, although if you want to go nuts with it, I will show you how, because I do it. But this is a really good place to start. And you don't necessarily need the Marc Jacobs one. Any nice neutral brown color will do. I happen to like a cool brown. Some people like a warmer brown, more of a bronze, coppery color, and it doesn't really matter as long as you've got something to start with. And then you can add your eyeliner or eyeshadow colors right over top. Okay, so eyeliner is on, which is a good thing. So now I can make a really good start. So what I want to do first is I am going to use the Natasha Denona foundation, and the one that I have purchased is the Transformatte, and it is a mattifying foundation. So I'm going to put this on and we'll just take a look, and I may even check back a couple times to see how it wears depending on how it goes on. I have not used this at all. I have never put it on my face, so this is going to be as big a surprise to me as it is to you. So let's get started with this foundation. It does look like this. When it comes off, there's a pump. So it's a nice clean dispenser. I'm doing 1 pump and it is a little bit runny, which means it's a little bit wet, which is fine. I'm gonna use my fingers. I have been having problems with different foundations that are lightweight like this, absorbing into my brush. So I feel like I'm going through a little bit too much foundation. So I'm just gonna use my fingers for this one this time because like I said, I haven't used this one before, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Let me look in my mirror. Got my sponge here to blend it if I need to. I'm not using it wet because I don't really want to shear it out. I just want to blend it so I know it looks good. That actually looks pretty nice. Blend it in nicely with my Jeffree Star concealer. Seems to be staying in place really nicely. I will let you know later on if it accumulates in the little lines. And honestly, every foundation is going to accumulate in little lines if you have little lines. So it's something that we just have to be aware of. You will never find a perfect foundation that makes a lined and wrinkled skin look completely glass smooth. It just isn't possible. So we just need to be aware of it, and we need to make sure we're checking in the mirror every several hours just to make sure we don't have any. I get lines here, right down here. I never get them here, and I have a big line there. I'm always surprised about that, but I will get it right here under my eyes. Not right up close to my lash line, but right down here a little further. I think that's my age and a little bit of sagginess talking, but what are you gonna do? So this foundation actually looks nice. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna be excited to see how it wears. I did soften my eyeliner a little bit with my pencil brush, which I like to do. I like it to be a little smudgy, smoky liner. I don't like a really sharp, defined eyeliner on me. So now it's time for the fun part. Let's get into these eyeshadows. Yay, let's try them out. I've heard so many wonderful things about Natasha Denona's eyeshadows. There's the palette again. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors, right? So what I've heard is the little mini palettes that she does are a little inconsistent in formula with these big palettes. So I don't know that I like that idea so much, but you know, it is what it is. We don't have any control over that kind of thing. So, but I'm gonna dig into these right now and we will play and see what we can do. So let me find a brush. Okay, I've got my standard Fenty concealer brush that you know I always use for eyeshadow. I'm gonna start with this light one right down here in the corner, and I'm gonna do this up by my brow. So let me get a little bit of that. We'll go up here. Sorry to look off to the side. I need to look into a mirror while I'm doing this. In this palette, she's got a little cover here that has the names on them, and it is perforated. I could tear it out, but I'm not gonna do that because I wanna be able to tell you what colors I'm using. If I were to tear that out, I could get to this mirror a little bit more easily. So let me see if I can make that happen. Haha, good, all right. So I'm gonna try that out. That way I can look straight at you while I'm putting this on. Let me look again, make sure I did it evenly. And yeah, that's pretty good for my brow color. It's not as shimmery as it looked like it was gonna be, and that's probably a good thing. Let's pick something to do on our lid. We're playing with these purples, and I love, 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 love these purples. So I'm gonna take the lighter of the two purples right here. This is called Livid, and the color that I put up on my brow is called Juno, as in Juneau, Alaska, I guess. So let's do Livid, different brush, on my lid. These are very, very creamy eyeshadows. I'm loving the consistency of them. Lots and lots of pigment, which is good. And I'm blending that right into my brown eyeliner. And I'm gonna stop right as I approach the crease. I don't want to work this up into the crease. I wanna keep that purple on the lid. Let's get more. Sorry about the noise. That's that little sheet that has the names of the colors on it. Wow. I'm gonna move close in just a second so you can see the shade of this purple, because I feel like I might be a little bit too far back from the camera for you to get a true feel of how this looks. I'm gonna have to find out when this palette came out, because I know it's been out for quite a while. It's only new to me, and maybe a lot of you already have it or have already used it, but it truly is a beautiful palette. Look at the purple. It's not a very blue purple. It's almost like a cranberry purple, which is pretty. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take a brown shade in here that I love, and this is called, let's see, which one do I wanna do? I'm gonna do Nude Vino, which is up here. On camera, it's coming across very light, but it looks like a pretty rich cocoa color, chocolate color. Doesn't look like vino at all, so, but that's okay. So, into the crease with the Vino. Whew, that's a lot of pigment. So let's get a blending brush and see if we can make this look a little bit better, because it's a little bit, it's my fault, it's not the eyeshadows. It's looking a little chunky because I actually took too much on my brush, not knowing how this palette was gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit more Juno on my brush, and I'm gonna just soften the top line of that darker color. Okay, that's a pretty good start. It looks nice. I want to soften right in here a little bit because that's a little choppy also. Because as we age, there are two issues here. The skin sags a little bit. We get a little bit of lines and a little bit of crepiness in there. So we really don't want, to leave it naked. We certainly don't want anything shimmery in there. But we need to make sure it looks smooth when we're done. There we go. Yeah, I needed to do that. I needed to soften that a little bit. Not soft with color, but with a little less shimmer, a little more matte. Okay, all right. Good so far? Yay. Okay, I'm gonna take my tiny little brush that I absolutely love. This is actually Fenty's, really what she considers her eyeshadow brush, and it's little. So it's perfect for me to add some color and add some fun to my eyeshadows. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the bright purple right here, and this bright purple she calls Amethyst. Yay, great color. So I'm gonna get a little of that just on the side of the brush. because I don't want too much of that. And I'm realizing this pigment is insane. So these, if you get one of these larger eyeshadows, they're ridiculously priced. I think they're about $125 for the set, which is totally insane, which is why I started out with the smaller palettes from her. But once I realized that the larger palettes were gonna be a better quality shadow, I decided to go ahead and invest in one. This is the only one I have that's this big. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna take the Amethyst, let's face towards you, on the outside, because I want a little bit of brightness right there. And when I say brightness, I'm not talking about lightness, I'm talking about purple. I want to see a bright purple sitting there. There we go, that is pretty. I'm going to work that up into my crease a little bit so I can blend the edge. Ooh, I like it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lighter color, and there's one here. Let me see what we have here. I don't want it to be too shimmery. Oh, it's going to be shimmery. That's who I am. I'm going to use this color called Helio, and it's this one right here, down here, sort of a shimmery. It's shimmery. My whole life is shimmery. And I'm gonna put this one, we're gonna put it on my brush. This one is gonna go in the inside corner here. A little more. Okay, just to add a little bit of light at the inner corner of my eye. Since I've done all this layering of the colors, I'm going to take a brighter color, and there is a purple here called Viola, and it is this bright one right here, like a bright berry. I'm gonna take a little of that on the same eyeshadow brush, just a little. And this is gonna go right in the middle here. So I'm gonna add a little right here, add a little right here, probably need a little more. Whew, that is pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna just kind of wipe my brush off on a tissue here, and I'm gonna go back and just blend my edges gently down here. What I actually have three colors. I have the bright purple, I've got the Helio, and then I've got that lighter color here. So I'm just gonna blend those together. I don't want stripes of color. I just want it to fade from one color to the next. Then I'm gonna go back to my blending brush and just work that crease a little bit more, just to do a little more blending. Because the more layering you do, the more colors you add, the more choppy it can look, and we're trying not to be choppy. Choppy is not our friend. That is some purple. Do you like it? Look how pretty that is. Ooh. Again, I've done this 1,000 times. I feel like I've covered up a little bit too much of my eyeliner, so I'm gonna go back with my Marc Jacobs and just add a little bit of brown right at my lash line. It's pretty. I love brown and purple together. Ooh. What do you think? Do you like it so far? It's really pretty, isn't it? Now I'm going to grab that waterline real quick, which I did not do before. As you know, that's my thing. Always get the waterline. And I do have a little bit of a sensitivity to purples. Anything that's got a lot of red to it really makes my eyes sensitive and red and watery, so I want to be really careful. That's why I would love it if I could tight line with a purple, but that would just make me miserable all day and it would make my eyes look terrible. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with the brown. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go off camera for a second and get my mascara on. I am not using Natasha Denona's mascara. I'm using my MAC mascara on the bottom and my Charlotte Tilbury mascara on top. I'll be back in just a second so you can see how it looks. Okay, so my mascara is on, and honestly, the eyeshadow look I think is absolutely beautiful. I do want to move a little closer to show you something though. Remember I was talking about my little allergy to the purple colors. Look at how red my eyes are. And I know exactly when that happened. While I was off camera doing my mascara, I took a little bit of the amethyst color on my pencil brush and I painted it right over top of the brown eyeliner that I was wearing, and I'm pretty sure some of that purple got into my eyes, so now I'm all red and gross. But whatever, hopefully this will last long enough so I can give you a good review on it. But honestly, the Natasha Denona foundation is looking amazing, and it's warm in here, I'm sweating, and it's still looking nice and matte and comfortable. I have not even set it yet. I don't think this is something I'm gonna bake because I just think it's matte enough as it is. I'll probably dust a teeny little bit of powder over top just so I can have the blush go on smoothly, which I'm gonna do right now. So, I wanna show you something. See my shirt? Do you love this? Zildjian. This is a company that makes cymbals for drummers. My friend who I binge watch everything with is kind of a big deal drummer. We binge watch things together all the time, and it's one of the reasons we're never in the same city when we're watching them. So that's kind of fun. But I love this shirt. Of course, I had to chop it up and do a little DIY on it because it was a little bit warm for summer, but I want to wear this because I absolutely love it. So anyway, let's get back to the makeup. So blush. Now I've got the Natasha Denona. I've got two things. I've got the Diamond and Glow Duo, and I've got the Blush and Glow Duo. Now I like pink, and because I'm wearing purple, I want to do a little bit of a pink blush, but the pink is really, really shimmery on here. So I am going to use this one. On camera, it's looking kind of pink. It's very similar to NARS Orgasm. It's that color. So let me find my blush brush and add a little bit of this to my life. Not too much. You know, I say all the time, if you're gonna do a super dramatic eye, you have to go light everywhere else, especially on your lip, and you will see me do that in just a bit. This blush is going on here pretty nicely. It's not grabbing or anything, and I did not put powder on first, and it is laying down pretty nicely, so I'm happy about that. So that says a lot for this matte foundation, because normally a foundation without setting it will grab a powder and like just hang on to it, and you'll get blotches and stuff, so this is good. Now I am going to go back with the pink one because even though it's shimmery, because I want to add a little bit more pink right at my cheeks. A little bit, not too much. Ooh, there you go. Just added a little bit of blue because it's a bluish pink right to my cheeks right there, which ties it into the look I'm going for. Now before I do my lips, I am going to take these little ears out of my hair and kind of fluff myself up a little bit. But boy, the eyeshadows are pretty and the blush is pretty, isn't it? I really am liking that a lot. Yay, Natasha. Now, what I'm gonna use for a highlighter, which one? The Diamond and Glow palette. So it's a really pretty highlighter. Where's my brush? Here we go. Let's get a little of this and do this on here. Just a little bit. After all, it's noon. I don't need to be too highlighted at noon. Is anybody excited about the Game of Thrones finale tonight? Actually, I thought it was tomorrow night, but it's tonight, so that's cool. And of course, we will be binge watching that. A little bit here. There we go. Pretty. Ooh, I love it. Okay, let's do some lips. I'll tell you, Natasha's lip liners are pretty old school. They're actually not all that big. You know, some of the lip liners and eyeliners you buy now are like so huge. This is not all that large, and it is wood. It's real wood. It's not the plastic that we see in eyeliners and lip liners these days. So let me put this on. This one is her L8. It's just called Pink. So let's do this. The consistency is a little hard and crunchy. You can tell that it's old school. It's not creamy gel type formula or anything, but maybe that'll make it stay on better. We'll see. And I've shown you my trick before about using a lip liner, lining your lips like you normally always would, and then coloring in here, and here, and the same on the top, right there and there. And what that does is it gives you a little bit of darkness on the sides and a light in the middle, which is gonna make your lips look a little bit fuller. And I'm always trying to make my lips look fuller. So I did that. And the lipstick I'm gonna put over top of this, I have not gotten one of Natasha's. This is a Marc Jacobs color called Diva. And as you can see, it's like really light shimmery. So let's do this. Oh yeah. That is right up my alley, and I'll tell you exactly what it looks like. Do you remember when MAC did the Viva Glam? I don't remember the number, but it was the Lady Gaga color that was that really light, chalky kind of pink. That's what I'm getting here. Some people like that, some people don't. If you didn't like that, all you would need to do is put a little bit of gloss over top to give it some depth and some dimension. I happen to like the look. I like a matte chalky light pink because I think when I wear this type of lip and a light blush like I have on, it draws all the attention to my eyes, and that's where I was going with this. So I'm very, very happy with this look. I'd love to know what you think about it. Do you think it's pretty? Let me get a little closer. You can see up close. See? I actually didn't do too much blush this time, maybe a little. Actually, yeah, maybe I did a little. So let's grab a little powder here. This is my Charlotte Tilbury powder, and just do a little softening of the edges. There you go. Just soften that down just a tiny bit. And it is gorgeous, right? I love this look. And are my eyes, yeah, they're still a little bit red, but they don't itch anymore like they did a little while ago. Okay, so I'm back. I've had this on for a couple of hours now. My eyes are kind of bothering me a little bit, but not too much. I didn't have to like wash it off or anything. But I will tell you, the only thing that I decided to add to this look from when I did this video initially is I used the Forsali, the rose gold spray, setting spray, just because I wanted to just make it look a little bit more dewy, because I went with matte on top of matte on top of matte on top of powder on top of matte. So, you know, I mean, there was a lot of matte going on here, and I wanted to just make my skin look a little bit refreshed. So I think I did that twice today. But this foundation has stayed in place like none I've ever used. It's not accumulating in the creases by my mouth, which I'm totally shocked about, because every foundation does that. I love the consistency. It feels like I have absolutely nothing on my skin. So yeah, her foundation was a little pricey. I think this was $49, something like that. And it is 0.95 ounce. So it's not quite a whole ounce, but honestly, if you can find a foundation that makes your skin look this smooth, do it anyway. It's worth it, because we all try to save money on different products, and I do too. You know, everyone does that. But once I find a product that truly works for me, I will use it even if I have to save up for it, because it's so hard to find the right products. I feel the same way about my Jeffree Star Concealer, which I have right here. This stuff is magic. I mean, he calls it Magic Star. It really is. I mean, this makes my under eyes look great. It stays all day. It doesn't accumulate in any creases or anything under my eyes. I absolutely love it. I love the consistency, and it feels like, again, there is nothing on my skin. And that's always what I'm going for. I want my skin to feel clean. As much as I love makeup and I love layering this and that and the other thing, when I walk away, I want to feel like there's nothing there, and I just rolled out of bed fabulous like this. I'm going to list everything below so you can take a look at them and see if there's something you'd like to try out. So that is my look. That is me using my 5 Natasha Denona products that I own, making me think, holy cow, I love them. I'm going to buy more of them. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Share it with some friends. Everybody can always use a new idea for how to do their makeup. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.